It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Mayegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you ladder, oh, yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh.
Oh, ye do I walk. Oh, Mary, oh, Nindizu, oh, Niria, Abakare, Mama Baora, Unapuri, Mary, Nandi, win the war. Python, that's one, Python, that's two, not Python, that's a three. Unapuri, Mary, Nandi, win the war. Python, that's one, Python, that's two. Now Python, that's the three. Unapuri, Mary, Nandi, go, oh, you do, I walk. Oh, Mary, Nizu, Miruya, Abakare, Mamanda, Ora, Unapuri, Mary, Nandi, win the war. Python, that's one, Python, that's two. Now Python, that's the three. Unapuri, Mary, Nandi, win the war. Python, that's one, Python, that's two. Now Python, that's the three. Unapuri, Mary, Nandi, win the war. Python, that's one, Python, that's two. Now Python, that's the three. Unapuri, Mary.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dodo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dodo.
Good morning to you. Afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are watching. This is Mayegun Live. Thank you so much for joining me again. From wherever you are watching, please read the caption of this broadcast. Read the description as well. Hear it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell all of them that Mayegun today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The injustice that Nigeria represents under Boko Haram has been continued under Tifnumbu. Before we get fully into it, I want you to always remember, if anything happened to Nnamdi Kanu, Tifnumbu should be held responsible.
Yes, right.
Don't join them to blame Boko Haram. Don't join them in giving excuses. So some of you are saying there is nothing Tifnumbu can do. No, that's not true.
Yes, right.
Share this, by the way.
Yes, right. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òun. Yes, right.
So that's going to be the major topic of tonight, but there are others that I bring for you tonight. Motide, good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you. It is Mayegun Live. And I want to start this by kind of, I want to start it solemnly. I'm going to start it from the low part until it gets to the boiling one. And because I want to try and pass some message to some of you, the undecided, to some of you who do not understand the word injustice, to some of you, somehow that will feel like whenever somebody you don't like is being punished by the people you don't like, but still, it is not a thing of anyone or a thing for anybody to keep quiet, even if you disagree with people's stand or positions on anything. Injustice in Nigeria is democratized. Even those who share them on, they are not spared. So the reason why I have to start slowly. Ladies and gentlemen, you might have read about Patrick Lumumba. You might have read about a lot of, Africans who have faced persecution, even death, in their lifetime, in the hands of some few scared people that feel so powerful. But they are not powerful. They are just scared. They are scared of, a different opinion that doesn't align with their slavish doctrine. Then you will become a threat. And all they have to do is just to call a dog bad name. Tag a dog bad name so that you can hang it. So you have read about a lot of these individuals in their time. Some probably managed to be triumph while they were alive. Others become triumphant when they were dead, killed, so to say. A lot of us have read about the injustice against these individuals across Africa, and some of their stories inspired many of you today, to the point that some of you call yourselves Pan-Africanist. I don't know if you are probably like Democrats, as they will continue to force democracy on our sound. So we have a few clique of people that are so scared of a man and his idea that they will use every resource to shut him up or shut him down. And now, this is not history. This is happening right before our very eyes. But because of our biases, a lot of us would rather just keep quiet. But inside us, this is becoming ridiculous. Whatever it is you have against this guy, present it in your own court. Even those of you who want him jailed, won't you want the court to do it? Now that their courts rejected that, you are watching injustice play out. And you know something about the consequences of injustice. They say the dildo of injustice is highly lubricated, and it will F everyone, whether you are for them or you are against them. And that's exactly what is playing out. Few scared people. Let's have a conversation. We don't want to be part of this union anymore. That is democratic. There are those who still want to be part of that union. There are those who don't want to. In a democratic setting, you have the conversation around it. But just few scared people. They are perpetuating illegality. You are watching them, you are seeing them. They've done it to so many people. Some of them, those you like. Some of them, those you don't like. But what you don't understand is that in a system like this, you see those ones that are in prison, locked up, legally and illegally. Let's even talk about those ones illegally now. Those people locked up illegally. And those of you that are walking free, in case if you don't know, in a system like what you have in Nigeria, every one of you is a prisoner. You are a prisoner of a bad system that you, probably majority, are so weak to reject. You may not, the only thing differentiating you between those, they're locked up inside the DSS cell, and those of you who are walking free, it's just the bar, the gate. You have 150 million Nigerians who are living in multi-dimensional poverty, caused by those who said Nigeria is non-negotiable. Nigeria cannot be discussed. They caused the inflation, they caused the insecurity, they caused the poverty, they caused all of this, but yet they said it is non-negotiable. But that 150 million Nigerians are so weak to face this small clique and crush them to demand for something better. So Nnamdi Kanu locked up. You, Diabobaku Igboeta, or a self-loathing Igbo, a self-hating Igbo, okay? Even if you want him jailed, Abba, wouldn't you want that to be done in their courts? And it can be done within 1 week. But because they have nothing concrete to present to say, this is why we want to jail him. This is what he has done. The first step of kidnapping him from Kenya and drugging him and taking him to Nigeria. It's been there for over 2 years with them. And guess what? He has won every of their case inside their own court. Then the Supreme Court, Supreme Court of Injustice of Nigeria, that sided with him that the procedure of kidnapping him from Kenya down to Nigeria was so wrong that alone should have earned Nigeria a bad reputation. Somebody who just believed they could break any law. That was under Bukwari. Bukwari left. Tifnubu appointed another lawyer. And that one is now sort of pushing with Nyako now to say, okay, Supreme Court said they shouldn't have revoked your bail. So what does that mean? Free him. Now they have managed to go and push something up now. Guess what that is? They said the time they attempted to kill him and he escaped their bullet, they said those shorties that stood for him, they've already filed the motion in court to say they have no idea where he was and therefore cancelled their shorty or their ascarantos. The bond they said they put down. So because of this, they cannot, this is in Nyako now, they cannot really honor what the Supreme Court says. In all of this, just because he is yet to say, okay, fine, let's call it a day. Okay, I'm done. Nothing about Biafra. If he wakes up tomorrow and he says, yeah, that's it, I won't say anything about Biafra anymore. Right? Suddenly, the Nigeria court that keeps postponing and postponing, they will easily sit and they will make the whole declaration within minutes. But he's adamant of saying no. Even if I tell you here that I won't do it anymore, I mean, I'm done. The point here is this. I can't guarantee you that I'm going to fulfill that. So what's the point of promising what can never happen? So they've ensured that they could probably lock him up forever, and maybe just free him when they believe he is terminally ill. You are watching injustice, whether it is against somebody you like or you don't like, right? Number one, let's even pretend that you are ignorant of how they normally use this rigged judicial system to perpetuate. You've seen people who have suffered it. So whereas the recent one, at least, that you can. So the bottom line there is that Nnamdi Kanu is asking for something that they know that sooner or later it is going to happen. But who is going to bail the cat? On whose head will Nigeria break up? So who is going to take the risk of letting Nnamdi Kanu be out there if Numbu doesn't want to? Therefore, keep him there forever. Now, here is their latest when he was in court today. So the last time, Nyako threatened that if Nnamdi Kanu's defense, his own defense lawyers, if they don't come up with defense against the allegations. Listen to this. So there is allegation of treason that Nnamdi Kanu wanted to overthrow Bokwari. Later, they said there is another charges of terrorism. And that is the one they are pushing about. In all of this, there is no single evidence on their part. So on the part of Nnamdi Kanu, they are following the judgment of the Supreme Court. So what did the Supreme Court say in December 2023? The Supreme Court said that the military went to his house to try to kill him, and they killed over 28 people that day. Was violation of his bail freedom. He only ran for his life. He did not jump bail. So the point where they said, oh, he jumped bail was completely laid to rest by the Supreme Court. That's the Supreme Court of Injustice of Nigeria. That, no, he did not jump bail. In fact, it should be a free man. But the Supreme Court of Injustice failed to just say go, because it's a rigged system. In all these years that they've been holding him, right? They've not been able, in their own court, they've not been able to present one single witness or what they said he did. Nothing. You will read a lot in the papers, you will read a lot online. But when you go to their court, right, there's absolutely nothing presented. So their Supreme Court now said his own lawyers should take their judgments, in which they didn't really give any judgment. They said, oh, now take it back to the appeal court to go and process the reinstatement of his bail. You get what I mean now? No, I can't give you, I can't release you, even though they have no reason to be holding you. Okay? But the thing is, I don't want to be the one to give you bail, or I don't want to be the one to free you. Supreme Court of the land, go back to the appeal court, so that can take other years when they keep going back and forth like this, okay? Then finally, they will say, okay, let's go back to the Supreme Court again, maybe in another 2-3 years. That is the injustice you are witnessing. Whether you like him or you don't like him, it will happen to all of us, but it's going to be differently. That is why we say, when they pray that Nigeria not happen to you, it's not because it is not happening to you now. It is because the one that will happen to you, that will make you kind of look around and be like, how could this be happening? And they say, well, now you cause them now. You the abuse government. Abuse government? Like, is that a crime? It's a crime. Oh, it's a freedom of speech. Freedom after speech, we don't know. Kind of a thing. You know? So it can happen to you, and it will. It will. Because at the end of the day, right, even if you are one Nigerianist, one Nigerian, right, lying to yourself, there is a way that when the Nigeria will happen to you, it will shock you. And it may not be directly, it may be to someone closer, and it could be in any way. When it shocks you, it will push you down to our side. Those who have admitted that they are victims of Nigeria, and they would be victims no more. I will be victim no more. Because those of you who are still championing one Nigeria, right? If you understand what you are championing or promoting, right? Then you understand being a victim and not knowing. In this regard, so their courts now said, Supreme Court can't free him. Now they returned him back to the woman that they defeated. She was defeated in that same appeal court. When Malamu said, sorry, because appeal courts in Nigeria gave a ruling. They said, Nnamdi Kanu's kidnapping and what's that called again? There's a word for that. I'll remember, don't worry. Right? That Nnamdi Kanu's kidnapping and abduction from Kenya, okay, and being returned to Nigeria was totally wrong. And therefore, Nnamdi Kanu cannot be tried in any court in Nigeria until Nigeria return him back to Kenya and then puts a process of, God bless you, Jerry, illegal rendition. That is what that is. Rendition. It's a big word. But it became more popular when Nigeria kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. Rendition, illegal rendition, right? It is not like what they call the, the extradition. Extradition is legal. Rendition is not. Extradition means Nigeria is looking for him. They found him in Ghana. They will tell the Ghanaian government to arrest him because Nigeria need him. Then he will now go to court in Ghana and say, you can't let me go to Nigeria. They will kill me. So the human rights, this or that, if he wins in Ghana, Ghana will give him asylum. And there's nothing Nigeria can do about that. But if he loses there, Ghana will just give him to Nigeria. Same thing in so Nigeria will need to return him back to Kenya. That's what the appeal court said. Return him to Kenya, apologize, and give him back every of his stuff you took from him. Then you remember Malamu now came out and said, no, they can't release him. The Supreme Court should, Supreme Court should, they should wait for Supreme Court. Waiting for Supreme Court is what extended it to December last year. Then Supreme Court sent it back to appeal court. Now appeal court is now playing the hanky-panky now. Nnamdi Kanu is saying, read what the Supreme Court gave to you. Binta Nyako says, I have read it. None of it says I should let you go. What it says here is that you should be here now defending this allegation, these new charges. They've brought new charges. You should be here defending those new charges, not asking me to honor the Supreme Court. And if you continue to say you are not going to put up any defense and you're going to continue to ask for bail, then I am going to have to adjourn this court until further notice. That's what Nyako said, which means until you write me and say you are now ready to put a defense that they have put up at the Federal High Court, Appeal Court, and they've been defeated. Currently, Nigeria is owing Nnamdi Kanu over 10 billion naira in court award judgments, over 10 billion on top of this whole thing. They haven't paid. It's likelihood that they will never pay. So what they are saying now is that you need to come and defend all these things, these new allegations. So here is Nnamdi Kanu earlier today in the court speaking directly to Nyako.
But that's what you wrote. You said here, my lord, that the defendant has now applied for bail. Now, as I've said earlier, bail is a decision of the court taking into consideration all the conditions laid down in Muhammad Abacha v. State. At this stage, I am of the opinion that to make or take a stand on the bail application without first hearing and determining the issue that is glaring in the face, which is the absence of the defendant from the court since 25th of April 2017 until he was produced on the 29th of June, my lord, which was exactly what the Supreme Court did. They said that he did not join bail. These criminals came to my house to kill me. That's what the Supreme Court said. This is in your own ruling, in your own court, my lord. So I cannot understand, my lord, why my trial will be conducted contrary to the Constitution of Nigeria that said I must have free and unfettered access to my counsel. It's here. This is the law. But that's what you wrote. You said here, my lord, that.
So he was reading the judgment in part, reading their own constitution in part, telling her what he said, but she was like, no. I denied the bail. So she denied the bail again. Not because they have respect for their laws. Remember that. But he knows they can't try him under your bogus law, the same one you don't respect. Right? Then he added this.
Terrorism Prohibition and Prevention Act says I cannot be tried in Nigeria. That's the law of Nigeria. I can never be tried in any court of law in Nigeria. That's what the law says. Anybody standing in trial or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what their law says. Not me. As simple as that. Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an act of terrorism. Yes. It's very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person. Is not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which the law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality to conduct the trial. Is not done anywhere in the world. And it happened in my case. Nobody had, there's no exception. No exception whatsoever. That's what the law says. Section 12 of the Constitution, what does it say? Any treaty ratified by Nigeria becomes law. It's law. You cannot change it. It doesn't matter what they do. All these shenanigans is just pure rubbish. You never stand. Not with me. I believe in justice and fairness. That's all.
Nigeria signed to survive, not to rendition.
Terrorism, prohibition, and prevention.
But Nigeria is a lawless country. Don't ever forget that. Ever. If you think you haven't become the direct victims yet, maybe you are one of those living in denial. You know, those people who tell themselves, you know, Nigeria is our country. We don't have any other one. Let us just pray and get yen like that. Pretending. This is, double face, like they say, it's not normal. But it's okay, it's normal, it's Nigeria. It is not normal. You cannot keep an innocent person in jail for the pleasure of a minute clique because they are scared. Do you understand that? If Nigeria begin to break up to parts, there will be new leaders, imagine, from all parts of what is today's Nigeria. And I promise you, none of those you see today would ever be seen anymore, not even in your regions. They know it. They do. And they can't let that happen. And therefore, they have to make their own personal fear. You would have nothing to lose if Nigeria break up. Right? If Nigeria becomes, let's say, a confederation, right? That's the closest that you can be to the real solution. When people ask you what is the solution to Nigeria's problems, the primary solution that a lot of you are shying away from because to you, it's not going to happen. The primary solution is to actually ask all of us, you, me, everybody from everywhere, if we actually want to be part of this Nigeria, and why? Would you like to answer that question? Isn't that something that, like, if you are given the opportunity, right, to choose between being part of Nigeria or having your own autonomous region, you know? Don't you think it's going to be like a great experience? So that for the first time, we can all actually be part of, like, number one, we can either be part of the creation of new countries, or we can actually be part of creation of a new Nigeria. I'm using Nigeria because that's the name now. What about a confederation? If you are so scared of living alone, I am not afraid of living alone. Are you? Not living alone that way. I'm talking about, take a look at this contraption forced together. Okay? And then you realize that we are strange bedfellows. We've tried. But wouldn't you like that experience? So let's say a confederation. Confederation simply means if a group of people comes together and they say, we want Sharia, and the people living there says, fine, we want Sharia, then they have Sharia. If this other side says, we want Christianity as our religion, if the people says yes, go for it. I'm only using that as the primary one, that even if you are so too concerned, like, everybody can actually live where it suits you and be a citizen of that part. That was how we began, right? So where each region can grow according to their own pace, no rush. Wouldn't you like that kind of experience? I mean, I don't know how to say that to you, but I would love that experience. Okay? I participated in the Ref 1 of Scotland. And it was so beautiful. It was like, it was a beautiful experience. The passion, the identity, the identity, they hold it so dear and kind of make me feel like, man, if to say Nigeria was a country, like the one that our forebearers were handed, the one that they handed it to our forebearers. So we would have had the Eastern region, Western region, and maybe a few other regions, instead of all these useless estates they created, which are just their little fiefdoms. So it's such, it's because they are so scared. They see Nigeria as a conquered territory, like their colonial masters, the puppet masters, sees it. And the rest of us, we are just like the game. So because they are scared of losing all they have stolen from you, from me, and others they plan to still steal from us, they started kind of dropping in, the minority group, the minority this. Let the minority decide where they want to be, and who decide who is minority? In a country that everyone should have equal rights on paper. So they are holding a man that was promoting dialogue, the one that is promoting conversation around who we are and why we deserve better. We should even ask for better. But you don't like his language. You don't like the way he talks. Because it's not saying sir, ma, yes, ma, and doing like that to tell you that you're going to get killed by this system if you don't do something. They make it sound like breaking up Nigeria is a bad thing. Is the unity of is the one Nigeria right now, is that a good thing? Apart from the fact that they are telling you that it's going to be good, it's going to be, it's just going to be better one day. Is it really good? Is this one Nigeria good to anybody? Is it? Of course not. But you dread the word break up without looking into it and say, break up into what? To who you are. I mean, Yoruba man, a Jebu man from Yoruba land. That is where I am. And that is what I see myself as. And in most places, that's what I want to be identified as. So I would love to have that choice. But they won't give me. That's something we all need to know. These guys who controls the courts, controls the police, controls this and that, they are not using them to protect you and me. They are using them to hunt you and I that ever tries to ask for something different. That is what they don't want. But yet, they can't protect us. They can't provide for us. But they won't let us demand for anything better or have something better. So it's just like the whip. The whip and all that all the time. So you are concerned about the language somebody is using. You are concerned about how somebody talks. You're not concerned about what they talk about, which actually affects you. So, Nnamdi Kanu, every day that they lock him up in there, they are martyring him, so to say. You know why? Because what Nnamdi Kanu was promoting, no single of it has anything to do with violence. And they know that. And that is why it has become so difficult, despite the fact that Buhari's government that was funding terrorists, pardoning them in the name of Operation Safe Corridor, thought he could push the agenda of calling the IPOB a terrorist organization to the rest of their friends all over the world. But he couldn't. He tried. Spent millions of dollars to seek legitimacy, validation for killing the Igbos. He never got it until he was ingloriously kind of eased out. So every day they keep him there because what he is asking for, if they had let him, it could have been one of the most wonderful moments for every one of you that identify as Nigerian. A beautiful moment to begin to actually question your history, your identity, and even the origin of this one Nigeria. And the moment you find out, well, you are going to ask for something better. One Nigeria wasn't put together because of you, because of me. It is put together for criminals. And if you can't be one of the ardent criminals who can break into their circle, then you will join them. The rest of us will be in the trenches, receiving the lashes, the consequences of your actions. They don't have any plan of making Nigeria better. Not these guys. So when you look around and think of prisoners of conscience, Nnamdi Kanu is one. They've done their best to sponsor act of terrorism in eastern Nigeria, militarize the region, and they've managed to get a few of their governors to begin to allocate lands for the Fulani terrorists in eastern Nigeria. Imo State is building Ruga. Enugu is building Ruga. That actually cracked me up because I remember one person was like sending me a message. Okay. So they saw something on online and they were like, it was like, Mayegun, then you need to wake the Yorubas up. Oh. You need to wake your people up. All these things that they are allowing Tinubu to do. See, the Fulanis are already taking over Yoruba land. I said, okay. Because all this nonsense, they cannot try it in Igbo land. I was like, okay. But if that makes you feel better. All right? But the fact on ground is that the weaklings among you, they have not only allowed the terrorists to kill the Igbos, okay, in Ebonyi, in Imo, as well as the recent, the recent one, Enugu. Not only that they have killed and kidnapped, yeah, there are 2 governors already building Ruga for Fulani. I'm not saying they go still, but say you can tell me that here, right? But the bottom line here is this. It is actually not a competition in this regard. We have weaklings, right, who are ready to do the bidding, right, of this Fulani terrorist, all for power. And keeping the likes of Nnamdi Kanu, as well as many people as they can grab and tag them terrorists, or tag them wherever they want to tag them, and lock them up. It's unfortunate, but a lot of us needs to know this. All of us are awaiting victims, and every of our own part is more or less like, if not gone, but almost. And the criminals who don't want you to have that chat, those ones who make you believe that if Nigeria break up, I don't know why you are afraid. I don't know why you will be worried. What do you think you are going to lose if Nigeria break up? Do you mind? Like, I actually really want to read the comment on this. Okay? Before we proceed. Brethren, those of you who believe in one Nigeria, don't know what you are benefiting, I may not know. Okay? But what do you think you are going to lose if Nigeria break up? What do you think you're going to lose? To me, nothing. Except the chain. That's the only thing I'm going to lose. You get that now? The mental slavery, the mental chain that has kept a lot of you so scared when you hear the word break it up. You're not losing anything. So what do you think you're going to lose? What do you stand to lose? If Nigeria break up. But if we break up, we will begin to kill ourselves. Who are those saying that to you in the first place? Who? The people that are keeping you inside this one Nigeria. The one that is like a chicken inside the cage. You see the chicken and the chicken owner. Have you seen the chicken owner? The way they pamper the chicken. They don't pamper the chicken because they love the chicken. It's because they love the chicken. For meal later, yeah? So that's how Nigerians are. You're just like inside the cage. And they could just pick you anytime. Poor healthcare, police stray bullets, illegal raid, what do you call it? Fire incident, road accident, lack of, all of that stuff. You're like that chicken inside that cage that they just take anytime and they want. What do you think you're going to lose? And who is telling you that if the Igbos have Biafra, they will start fighting and killing themselves, other than those who are already killing you inside Nigeria? Who are those telling you that once the Yoruba nation comes, this one that we will start killing ourselves? Who are those? the slave masters and their humbled slaves that are already being stigmatized inside Nigeria, who are already drenching in the poverty of Nigeria. So what do you really want to really lose? The only thing you are going to lose when Nigeria break up is your chains, that mental chain. You see, those who are so scared to let us have that conversation now, they are the same people who removed history from your curriculum. Because history would have possibly told you a lot. It would have revealed so much about our identity and the people we have a lot in common with. The actions of those you call the heroes past, who are pretty much criminals past, would have been revealed. You won't worship them and you will never want to be like them. But they removed the history for a reason, just to further keep you deluded, confused, and identityless, with no identity or confused identity. We must fight for our country. Which country? Which one? So we'll continue to demand, since they've managed to kidnap him, put him in their own instances within their this, right? So they could continue to run the illegality. But the table will turn, and the one day will be one day. You see, this conversation you don't want to have, right? This man will be the symbol of it. At least a lot of people have come around after realizing how they have been played, how they have been deceived, and how they expected the whole thing to turn out, but it's not. And they've come around, and they're now asking, why are you keeping him? Why they are keeping him? Because what he is standing for seems to be the last leg that Nigeria is standing on. Once they remove that, it's over. And then on the other side, especially to some of you, the obedient, let me tell you something about Nigeria and the owners of Nigeria, how they operate. In case if you do know, or somehow you probably have forgotten. Syndrome. Let me remind you. You see, when you go together and say you are preparing for elections, it is one of the delusion that has come to be like other abnormalities that you have normalized, make you feel like you're actually having an election, right? Well, here in Nigeria, there are those who are like the owners of Nigeria. In that clique, if the pressure, because the more they fail, okay, the more people will kind of push and demand for the breakup of Nigeria or something, and they can't let that happen. So something happened in in 1998, and that was when Abacha died. So when Abacha, when Abacha died, Abiola died, right? And that sort of gave people like Tifnumbu and Co. a bit of a very good PR talking point. So they were able to use the same divisive thing you are witnessing today of how the northern Nigeria was out to kill all the Yoruba leaders so that they can enslave the Yorubas. That message sold well because Abiola won election, you jail him. You kill so many Yorubas, you jail some of them. At which level? You now killed him again. Man, it's time for Yoruba to leave Nigeria. Okay? That was when the likes of Tifnubu said they do not believe in one Nigeria because there's nothing called one Nigeria. We all know ourselves. So the Yorubas, the Yoruba nation will stand alone and face the military. Okay? And if the military chooses not to return to democracy or something, right? They were going to declare Yoruba nation. You won't believe it, though. Yeah. Same people who told Abiola to go and declare that he is the president. And then he got arrested. He was meant to actually escape. But he just felt like, you know what? I'll just face this. Then he never came out alive. So Tifnumbu and gang, right, to push the agenda that made the Yorubas the victims of Nigeria. But it didn't last so. And that is why I just don't know the kind of leaders that they have in Igbo land. I don't understand. I do have an idea, but I just keep asking myself, like, do they actually look in the mirror themselves? They are older than us, very elderly people. They should have enough experience. I know that they say the Igbos are more interested in business, they are not interested in politics and blah, 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 blah. But there were those who were interested in politics and so many other things. There were professors, there were like serious Igbo academians, like, you know what I mean? Those who could, possibly speak out. Because when it was the Yoruba's turn, we were threatening to leave Nigeria. I don't know how old you are around that time. Because I was already a newspaper reader. I was like a newspaper addict. Political side, all of them. They said Yorubas have been cheated. They killed Abiola. So what is Yoruba doing again? Who were those pushing that? Tifnumbu and gang. And guess what the owners of Nigeria did? They quickly came together and said, you know what? To keep the Yorubas, we have to make sure that we give the Southwest. Number one, we need to return to democracy. And when we are returning it with Yoruba. That was our Obasanjo, who was on the death row. He was supposed to be killed by Abacha. 2 days before Obasanjo was to be killed was when Abacha died. And that is why they said Sergeant Roger and few others, they said they took few of those prisoners like Dia, Olarewaju, and Obasanjo. They went to the prison to go and take them. It was Mustafa who stopped them. Because they were like, if Abacha is dead, Abiola must die. All this, Yoruba prison, including Obasanjo, must die. But they saved him. And they made the arrangement of releasing him, Abdusalami Abubakar pardoning him, returning all of his assets, Nigerian properties that he converted to his own, Obasanjo. They started releasing them to him. The first person to actually give Obasanjo bag of cash was Atiku Abubakar. And that was why Atiku Abubakar became, not because of that money, but Atiku Abubakar was part of the arrangement. He was the one to hold the block of the northern criminals inside Obasanjo's government. So the bottom line is that they saw it that if they, I don't know what will happen or if they didn't do, but I think it was so real then that they believed that the Yorubas could hunt. But we didn't know that those were just political jackals, chancers. Okay? And that's why they said that Tifnumbu was so mad that Obasanjo that did not do anything about democracy. This guy has just made the arrangement. Go bring Obasanjo out. Arrange him. Made him president. Kind of. So what I now see is that you see Nigeria is already tearing apart if it's not like torn already. Right? Now, the situation is now going to get to a stage where you are going to push more Igbos to the Biafra struggle. A lot of them are already, some of them who don't like Nnamdi Kanu are already feeling like, I don't even know why they are keeping him. I don't know this or that. That is how it's going to start. Nigeria will push a lot of you who still don't kind of agree, or you are still like in between. Before you are far left. They should arrest him. He's just a useless this. He's just a useless that. You have all opinions about Nnamdi Kanu, you as an Igbo man or Igbo woman. 7, 8 years ago, Abi. Today, now, you are in the middle. You are now like, I don't even know why they are still keeping him. This country, I don't know why they are keeping Nnamdi Kanu. Look at this old, see this breaking news. So person has been freed. Then they go there and say, I don't know why they. It's going to be slowly. They're going to push you to now understand what they are really doing. That what they are doing to Nnamdi Kanu, they will do it to any of you. All of you. The moment they see that you are standing or pushing for something that is a threatening their estate, their investments. So now, when they push a lot of you to that side, the owners of Nigeria can then use Nnamdi Kanu as a bit of a bargaining chip and say, you know what? Let's make an Igbo man president. It's going to look like an election so that people will feel like, yes, people's power. Yeah, Nigeria will work again. All of you will cry. Some of you will cry not all of you. Some of you will cry and say, oh my God, Obi is going to be president. Because that's the arrangement. Yeah, that's the arrangement. For the Igbos to stop talking about Biafra. Stop talking about this. Let's go bring him out and use him. And like I said before, the more you see, the more you look is the less you see. Before they use Nnamdi Kanu as a bargaining chip, maybe some of you can actually really pull something off. The ideas, well, I'm joining others to keep raising awareness, like I'm doing right now. An innocent man is being locked up for political reason, okay, by the criminals in charge of Nigeria. Who knows that what is advocating for, if it becomes so popular among the people and they are not so divided anymore, then you can begin to count the days for how long Nigeria have left, right? Let's go to another thing, but then I'll leave you with this.
My name is Nnamdi Kanu, and the reason why we're here today is to protest the killing of innocent women and children, and men for that matter, all over Nigeria, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. We are not happy, we are not pleased with what is happening, and that is why we're here today. As you can see, there are a lot of Nigerians who are protesting about the killing of families, people who are determined to tear the country apart violently, and it is not something that we support. It is not something that we would like to see continue, and we are here today to send a clear message to the Nigerian government, to the High Commissioner, that what is happening in the country is unacceptable, and we cannot accept it. If that continues, it will lead to the violent disintegration of the country. There will be no more Nigeria for anyone to go to. There will be no Nigeria for anyone to refer to. In fact, what is happening in Somalia today will be like a tea party. So we cannot allow this nonsense to continue. Something has to be done. And the consequences of the actions of terrorism in Nigeria must be driven home to the people, so that even the terrorists themselves will be able to understand that there is no mileage in where they're going. The only thing they can accomplish is the breakup of Nigeria. If they think that they can cower people, if they think they can force people to be coerced into a religion which is not theirs, then they are clearly mistaken. We are asking for peace. We are asking for people to get together. We are asking for everybody who loves Nigeria, who is associated with that country, to please prevail upon terrorism in Nigeria so we can bring it to an end. That is why a multitude of Nigerians are gathered here today. Those of us in the UK are determined to work with the government for peace. We are determined to work with the International Community for peace. But one thing we cannot stomach is a repeat of 1966. What is happening today in Nigeria was the reason why Nigeria fought a bitter civil war for 3 years between 1967 and 1970. If this continues, there will be another civil war in Nigeria. And this time around, no place will be safe in Nigeria. This time around, nobody will be safe in Nigeria. So it is imperative that everybody who has the interest of the country at heart acts now and immediately to stop this nonsense from continuing.
Oyedu Icon, Omeri Onindizu, Odiya, Abakare, Mama Daora, Unapuri Meri Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. na Python dance three. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi. Nnamdi win the war. Python dance one, Python dance two, na Python dance three. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi. Nnamdi bu onye du aimo. O Mary wone nizu mbiro ya. Abakare Mamanda Mura. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi. Nnamdi win the war. Python dance one, Python dance two, now Python dance three. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi. Nnamdi win the war. Python dance one, Python dance two, now Python dance three. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi. Nnamdi win the war. Python dance one, Python dance two, now Python dance three. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi. Nnamdi win the war. Python dance one, Python dance two, now Python dance three. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi. Nnamdi win the war. Python dance one, Python dance two, now Python dance three. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi.
Python dance 1, Python dance 2, and Python dance 3. These were military operations in eastern part of Nigeria that saw to the killings and disappearances of so many young men and women in eastern Nigeria. Courtesy the Nigeria government, a state-sponsored genocide is taking place in eastern part of Nigeria, and it is so underreported. It's unfortunate. Well, let's go to the next thing. I think I told you, well, I think I'm going to take it from here then. Like this afternoon or from last night, the news broke, right? That there was a coup attempt in Congo DR, Congo Democratic Republic. Now, the guy behind the coup was a guy called Christian Malanga. Now, Christian Malanga, right, is a DRC citizen living in America. So about 2-3 years ago, he started a movement where he was calling on the fellow Congolese to join him in liberating their country from the shackle of imperialism, poverty, and endless communal wars. Well, he's got his followers. So about 3 days ago, there was a report that there was an ongoing coup. 5 days ago, or about 4 days ago rather, the news broke that the countries like Guinea, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and then I think there are other two. Well, you see those four that withdrew from the ECOWAS simply because of the sanction against them, especially Niger. Now, those three, they formed their own economic bloc. There are those who chased out the Americans as well as the French. Now, there are those who believe that there is possibly going to be either an unrest, a coup, or anything that's going to kind of trigger violence in any of these countries before the end of this year. Okay, so coming from Congo, and a young man of about 41 years, his age, returning back home with his friends, Americans, two of them who were caught. So, but the irony of it all is this: these guys, they actually took over the presidential palace of the country. Like their coup of overthrowing the government and taking over, and according to him, reverting back to the name Zaire. It was kind of successful. Then the whole thing just turned upside down, like I briefed this afternoon. So I'm bringing that back to you again, right? So here is Michael. I mean, why do I keep calling him Michael? His name is Christian Malanga. Okay. So 2 years ago, he declared himself the president of Congo Democratic Republic in exile. So he started a government in exile called the Zaire government in exile. So he has his cabinet and all of that. But there was never really any time that anyone expected that he was going to be in Congo, but they were. And they took over the presidential palace, where he first made this video. I don't know if you've seen it this afternoon, but it's not bad if you see it again. Is that?
And that please. C'est que continuer à aventurer au ya politique dans ça et l'autre côté. Vous avez pas zobaté qui va tato batinda bino oboya dans ce cours na bango. Ngona bse koki. Ngoni koki biso ba soda to tambusa mboka oyo. Kinshasa za kokwea. Eza na maboko na biso. Okay. So do nyoso ta osima mundu ki contre peuple oyo aza ya biso te. Nengo ki aseke ngonga yango e koki bande ko na ngai. Ingeta. Ingeta. Brothers and sisters, the time has come for our time. The brave men who walked with me stood up and said it's enough with this rogue regime, a dictatorship, a regime that has sucked our blood with the military. Say it's enough. I go by the name of Christian Malanga. My brothers and sisters, we came here today to see a change. We acted as a change. Okay? We can't do this alone. We're sick and tired of our politicians. My brothers and sisters, the time has come for us to stand up. Stand up where we are. And that please.
And then, to show to all of us that, the media in Nigeria, Africa, even all over the world, we're already reporting a coup. Even though we didn't get to see the reactions of the people of Kinshasa and the rest. But these guys were in the presidential palace, except if it is not the main presidential palace, where they took down the supposed national flag of Congo DR. And they put theirs up. Let me show you.
President Malanga. Yes. Ma. Huh? They said it's not working. Here. Here, hold that thing. There. No.
We follow with the idea. Make the gun move. Make this gun work.
Fuck, it's jammed. It's not for me. Tozobunda parler de la nation sikoya. Zaire oye! Zaire oye! There. Moko matalikolo atalikolo ezala nini? Zaire. Bana Zaire. Bana Zaire. Felix, we're coming for you, nigga.
Felix, finish. What patrol Pangwana?
Zaire oye. Zaire oye. Zaire oye. Zaire oye. Pambuluzi oye. Pambuluzi oye. Pambuluzi oye. Ingeta.
They are like those our people that invaded the Oyo State government secretariat in Ibadan. The only difference is that these ones, they made videos inside the place before the military moved in. And the site is not good. I'll show you some.
Commandant compagnon le bibo vendre sa bangwana. No risk. Vous êtes la commandant compagnie, vous êtes la commandant compagnie. No weapon. Est-ce que Kobeta n'a pas no weapon? No weapon. Ça c'est quoi? J'ai là. C'est quoi? Non c'est.
Bota ba mindende ba bondi sadiso. Ba mindende ba bondi sadiso na ba ba boto la pale.
That was after, So if you want to take over a government, you need an army and you need the resources. And the resources I mean here is that you first have to try. You can't take over an army of a country if it's a country, like a country, no. So you're gonna need, you can't do that with a handful of guns. You're going to need more than just guns. Okay? And you're going to take over some strategic places. Sorry. Let me know if this picture is pixeling or what's it called again, so that I don't just keep going. Hang on, give me a sec. So I think it's kind of like freezing or so. Sorry about that. So why do you think armed robbers, before they rob the bank, first they will go to the police station nearby and destroy it so that they can demobilize those that may be sent over? So it is similar. Number one, you have to gather intelligence. For example, now let me say this, because as they say, it is easier said than done. You need resources. When I say resources, a lot of it. Then you need trained people to actually carry some of these things out. You know why? No matter how much you see, for example, no matter how much you see Nigerian police and the Nigerian army as ragtag, corrupt, they are not good and all of that. But don't deceive yourself. They are trained to handle guns. A lot of you are not. Do you understand me? The reason why they cannot protect Nigeria and Nigerians is because they are not set up to protect you. They are set up to protect these criminals. So if you want to go after them, don't stop making it look like, you know, because some of us are so good and experts in describing how things can be done. Please, let's get serious here, okay? Right? All these policemen that cannot protect you, they are not trained to protect you. They are trained to protect your oppressors. And that is why the moment you say you want to stage a protest, you begin to see some of the weapons you've never seen before with the Nigerian police. You begin to see the faces of some of them you've never really seen before. Because you're about to threaten the criminals. So they will bring them out. So what do? You need to gather your intelligence enough. One single swoop. Let me now use this Yoruba land, for example. Okay? Because you see all of these guys, you may see Ologogoro policemen on the streets. They have trained better trained. They have intelligence gathering officers. They have better trained police officers. They have crack teams. They just don't use them for you. You understand? They don't even use them until their interest is threatened. So don't deceive yourself. Don't see it as if to say you can just, Mayegun can just sit down here and begin to tell you, oh, we have this plan when I know we don't. Plan is different from the resources. But I'll give you an idea what my plan is. I mean, what my plan would be if I intend to take over the government of Yoruba land, for example. You will first start with how many, how many police stations are in the state capitals and what are their distance from the government house, okay? What is the distance between the police stations, army barracks, to the government house, to the governor's house or governor's lodge? What is the distance? You perfect that. How many police posts, how many military are in the city? How many personnel are the military personnel in the city? How many are others? Like you gather all of that to know who and who is in that city so that you don't start something that you can't finish. So they meant you now kind of map all these strategic locations and the people, then you list out the people of interest. The people of interest will be starting with the state governor, the deputy. If you can find the speaker, then you look for whoever is the military representative from Abuja in that state. What do you call them? Commander. Who is the police commander? Who is the police commissioner? And who and who and who and who, you know? Then once you know all of that, then you go gather which of all these military barracks have weapons. Right. How many of these police barracks and military barracks have weapons? How many of these police, this police posts have this communication and connection? And what is the range of their communication between the government of that state and the police commissioner? Once you manage to gather all of that, the next thing is you look for the day that all these people of interest will be available in their states. The commissioner in Ogun will be in Ogun State that day. Commissioner of police in Osun will be in Osun that day. Governor of Osun will be in Osun that day. And the team is ready. The team that will take all of them out. Here you get. And as you are taking them out, as you are taking out, before you even go for the individuals, you first go for some of these locations. Demobilize all these military posts and positions. Do you think you can use one gun or 20 guns to go and demobilize them? That's not how it's done. Here you get. If they have 100 vehicles, if they have this, you blow them up and all of that, so they can't move. And then you time yourself that all those people you are going to raid, all of the Yoruba governors, the 6 states, once you grab them, you have a collection location. Once they grab the one from Osun, the one from Ogun, the one from Lagos, the one from Kwara, the one from Ekiti, the one from once you grab all of them, you have a collection point where you will collect all of them and will take them somewhere, a very, very secluded location, all of them. So they become the prisoner of the revolution. So around that time, you are going to wait for Nigeria to respond. Okay? You've taken some generals, you've taken some, you've commissioner, you've taken all of them away. So then you wait for Nigeria to respond by issuing threats to us and say, what we have just done is violation of their constitution, is violation of this or that. By then, you would have mop up all of the weapons in different barracks, the whether military, and mop everything up. Take account of them. And your trained guys begin to share them and get ready. So by then you have people who are going to already take over the media houses. I can go on and on and on and on, but none of this is going to happen without the real resources. Real resources. I'm talking about hundreds of millions of dollars in resources and thousands of people trained. Okay, to do this is not just about training you how to shoot gun. Some of you think it's about just shooting gun. There's so much you could do that. When you do that, then negotiation will start. What do you want? We don't want to start bombing Southwest. If you bomb Southwest, we'll bomb Sokoto. Let it be very clear. This is no joke. If you bomb anywhere in Yoruba land, if Nigeria bomb anywhere in Yoruba land, we will bomb 5 places in Sokoto. We take over all of the aircraft in Lagos as well. All the aircraft, all their military jet and everything that is captured in Yoruba land that day. We'll take everything. If they bomb anywhere, if they send anything down to Yoruba land, we'll send 10 to the Fulani land and Hausa land. They will negotiate. So you need that resources. You need not just that, you also need trained mercenaries. Those ones that they call Ajagun Jewa Jagunta. Their job is just one directive. We get this guy, we get this guys, and we secure the border. From here to here, if Nigeria cross, shoot them. Yeah, that's how you do it. Then they will begin to gather their soldiers. They begin to gather all of their stuff everywhere. The whole world will begin to say what's going on. So I'm not going to be part of those who want to take over Nigeria. I don't have any business with Nigeria, but with real resources, not just few guns. It's not about guns. Sometimes you see, say the next world war is going to be information war. It's not the war of gun and bombs. You get what I mean? And then, yeah, so, you know, all these guys who went to Congo, took over a place, another. They killed that guy. Oh, yeah, they killed him. Unfortunately. Take a look at this. Somebody needs to know something, okay? That the criminals who are destroying Nigeria, they do not have pride. They do not have ethnic or any religious allegiance. They are just using me and you as a meal ticket to say, is a Igbo man, is a Yoruba man, is a Fulani, is this. But when you go back to where all of them comes from, they don't give a damn about me and you. You know that? They don't give a damn about me and you. And therefore, you should never, okay, try to die in their war. When Tifnumbu said, when they said Tifnumbu want to spend their 15 trillion naira to build Coastal Road, there were those who believed that the landmark business was one of the businesses that were to go down. So the landmark one was so loud. It was so loud that you would think it's only landmark that was in that axis. There were other businesses, there were other beaches too there. They are all going to go down. But beyond all of that, even if you think it's about Igbo Yoruba nonsense that some of you Ronukus are pushing, now there are more, thousands of families who are going to lose not just their houses, their lands. And a lot of them kind of believe that this whole thing is due to Tifnubu and his gang coming to take their land, having lost about 300 meters. 300 meters of the land has been lost to the ocean. Nigeria should be claiming the land from the ocean. But you see the one left, they now have to redraw the plan that is now going to take over 2,000 indigenous people's homes and their lands. They will be homeless. And the real victims, or should I say, the biggest victims of Tifnumbu's Coastal Road, they are our Yoruba brothers and sisters and parents too. They are out there asking the government to reconsider. This is a cheating. This is not what they signed up for and all of that. But if Nnumbu and his gang, they would have none of it. Well, somebody has something to say on that, on Arise News or Arise TV, which is the morning show. I'll start with that, and I'll show you the video of a few places going down again. And they said in the coming days, there will be more, and there will be more videos.
We are instituted by the Lagos State government. Recently, we had Mende, Maryland. I talked about the other areas earlier on. What people have complained about is that whilst the government says it is the buildings on the right of way, it's not done. It's done without notice in some instances. It's done without a sense of compassion for the people, as people are just, wake up one day and they lose their homes. I would like you to share your take on the demolition so far.
Recently, I had a commissioner saying 80% of houses in Lekki have no building approval. I just imagine, how can government come on TV and indict themselves? Why should people build without approval? What is the consequence for doing that? The policy is there. The law is there. When you have 80%, that means you should be expecting, even if the government doesn't do that, another government will come and say he wants to start demolishing illegal structures in Lekki. What happens? Most of the houses he is referring to are estates. The estates, the developers submit their plan. That is what we call layout for approval. And once they get that, they start selling this land and people start building. And nobody goes there to stop them. Or if they go there, whatever happens.
How can we make government more capable and away from this complicity? Because we see all this destruction that go on. Why is that government waste till people have invested their money? And you now destroy? Because look at what has been destroyed in real estate in Lagos. It's going to billions.
Yes, that was where I started from. The real civil servants will have protected themselves.
Are these ones fake civil servants? There's no fake civil servants?
No, you see,
they are experienced.
They are not experienced, they are not trained.
So
civil service.
So that means the Lagos civil service is faulty.
It's faulty that we have it now. Because you see, I received a letter from an officer. I read the letter, I look at it. It says a civil servant that wrote this. You see, there are things you were trained.
They don't know how to write letters?
Even letters.
The Lagos
an officer will write a letter as if he is the one. He is the one directing you. Whereas we were taught when we were in service to get order. The permanent or the commissioner or the governor had approved that you should do this. That has exonerated you. But now you see a letter, you are directed to remove this, as if he is the one saying it. That is not civil service.
So who pays for? Because it looks like, from what you're saying, the people are paying for the incompetence of the civil service. So how do we correct that wrong?
You see,
we saw people crying on TV the other day.
Yes, you see, when we were there, we used to go for training.
To change and torture, move the exchange rate from 200 to 800. If they have repaired it, if they have arrested this, we won't be where we are today. We will be greater. They don't know the way. They don't know how to think. They don't know how to do.
Nuisance, Lele.
Ladies and gentlemen, now they say the people of Okwaja are going to lose over 2,000 of their houses to the coastal road, and they were not captured in Tipnumbu's 15 trillion, nor in Devolumaye's 2.7 billion compensation. Wala mashele is what some of them are saying now. But well. Be careful of what you wish for. In picture, here are the other businesses that are now being pulled down. The Good Beach, I think, is it called Feel Good Beach or Good Beach? Something like that, right? And they said they have a staff of over 400, and more than 70% of their staff actually live on site. They live on that beach house. Now they would have to go look for somewhere else and do the job. Take a look. Sorry about that. That's going to be like, make your eyes black. I know. So those are the multi-billion naira businesses being kind of destroyed. And because that's what they would do. Nigerian police, Nigerian army, they decided to set their own officers up. The officers who have been extorting money from motorists or from people, which is pretty much like their pastime, their trade. So in setting the officer up, they marked the money they were to give to him like this. And true. One of the rats chop the cheese and say cheese, like that.
Man, open this money. This one, no, this new one. Open it. No, open this other new one. This one. Turn it. Open this one. Turn it. No, let it face me. Let it face me. Let it face me. What can you see here? On top is zero. Here, call. What can you see?
morning, sir. What can you see? You can see a mark. You know, say somebody said, no, my Egun, they did not set him up. Oh, it's because they are not delivering the normal amount. So they wanted to know what they have been doing with the money, if they have been stealing the money. Aye, Niger. And the trust issue gone. You know? Like, you do not trust the system any shishi. Like, you don't trust anybody in that. Like, even if they arrest a criminal in Nigeria will be like, maybe the guy no bribe them. Oh. The guy if he no be the main criminal. So I understand where you're coming from, okay? So it's understandable. Trust is unique. Okay, you get. And I just don't know why all of us don't say we get trust issue. Okay. I'm not talking about your individual self, because if you have that one, it's the ball. When it comes to the criminals in charge of Nigeria, you know they trust anybody. You do go, they trust Nigeria police. You go, they trust Nigerian army. Like, people said that if you see armed robbers and robbing people, and they say, hey, you, stop. And you started running away. You can't see police roadblock in front. I'll keep telling you. The best thing is for you to go back to those armed robbers. Okay? And give them whatever they want to take from you. And tell them, sorry. Sorry, uncle. I didn't see you properly. I didn't know it was you. Why were you running? And they say, why are you running before? I said, okay, I didn't see you. It's because you didn't speak. But when you now spoke, I was like, I just started to come back. Did you not see police ahead? Why don't you go to the police? Say, me, police, God forbid. Go to police. Because you just want to take my phone and collect my wallet. Because the situation is, you can't trust the police. The police will rob you. Then they will rope you. Now, two things they go do you. Rob you, rope you into something that you would have to bail yourself out. That's why we don't trust them. Police, they will say. No? Well, trust is a big thing. And this time around, the Northwest governors, northern governors came together and they said, Tinubu has abandoned them. Tinubu has abandoned everybody because he no promise you anything in the first place. Abi? But listen to this.
Is in the allocation of the federal government capital project. It noted with dismay that despite its cry for attention on the state of infrastructure in the region, which has been consistently echoed in all its communique over the years, especially the poor roads and railway infrastructures along the economic corridors that links the northeast sub-region to the rest of the country. The forum is calling on the federal government to look into the situation and consider the reconstruction of these basic infrastructures along Enugu-Maiduguri economic corridors and inclusion of the Northeast in all national development plans and initiatives.
On the issues of hike in electricity tariff and insufficient power supply experienced in the Northeast for over a month, the forum expressed dismay over what it described as nonchalant attitude demonstrated by Transmission Company of Nigeria.
Accordingly, the forum urged the federal government to direct TCN to take immediate action. The forum has resolved in the short time to set up a solar power plant that can generate a minimum of 10 megawatts per state.
The Northeast Governors Forum commended the Bauchi State government.
So that's them, complaining. But because of this now, they want to generate 10 megawatts per state. I won't weary. There was a bomb blast, or should we just leave it at a church attack in Kano. I spoke a little bit about that, I think 2 days ago. So they had their Peter Obi visiting them. But before I get to that, Northern Nigeria has looted more than $1 trillion in the last 64 years of Nigeria's history. This is the money that have been stolen directly and indirectly from the covers of Nigeria by those who have had their own share of ruling or ruining Nigeria. But till tomorrow, 80% of Northern Nigeria has no water at all. And more than 90% of them have no drinking water at all. That is who have like plausible, let's go there, let's go here. One of the problems of the Northern Nigeria is drought, the dry land, the dry this, and shortage of rain, they said. But from all this stolen money, none of them could build an irrigation system that could actually like nourish the ground, nourish the soil, and produce enough that would take a lot of people out of that poverty. But rather, they would steal the money, send their people to Mecca, and they themselves go buy themselves mansions in Dubai, America, UK, and all these places with millions upon millions of pound sterling, euros, dollars, and on. And this is 2024. And here in some community in Kaduna.
jihar mu an kore mana shanu mun koma huda da mutane yanzu ga mutane nan su muke korawa a gona suke zuwa suna mana huda. Wannan ikon Allah ne. Wannan sako ne zuwa Tinubu sakamakon an kore mana shanu barayi sun addabe mu yanzu mun koma huda muke da mutane. Yanzu ga mutane na a gona su suke mana huda. Wannan ibtila'i ne muna roƙon Allah ya kare mu daga wannan jihar mu an kore mana.
They're working, but you know something? With investment of 10 million naira, right? They can actually erect a solar paneled borehole that could really serve as irrigation system whereby they can lay pipes. Okay? They can lay pipes that can water that dry land. Okay? Not just that. You see that, and local, what do you call that thing? Cultivating hole, which was like handmade wood with holes and all that, and then pushing like ox, when an ox is pulling the whole thing, right? But that is so 15th century. But when you see these guys, you will see them, sometimes they will display tractors, they will display, they will tell you they are giving fertilizers to farmers, all of that for just photo op. But go down there and see their investment in that agriculture. Except they will take you to their own farms. They will make it look like, oh, Babana, Governor Getamo. Oh, it is Nasarawa State Farm. Agricultural projects. So once the guy left the place, he changed the name on the paper. And then you begin to hear, now former governor get the farm. I thought this is a state farm. No, it's a former governor own. Bunch of rogues and criminals, when the real people, able-bodied men and women, are roaming about and never being put to real use because they have to till the land with their hand in this 2024. While these guys are spending enough to buy themselves the latest automobiles, spending billions and billions of your naira, your billions of the same forex that is so scarce. They are there to buy forex to go buy cars. So in Kano, which is going to be the roundup, right? When Obi met with the victims of that mosque blast, the mosque attack, the mosque bomb blast. Victims.
We have received a total number of 23 patients who are banned from Laraba Abasawa Gizawa local government of Kano State, whom they present early hours around 6 a.m. So they receive adequate care that's due for them. And out of them, we lost 13 of them. Currently, we have 8 that are receiving care within the facility.
This is very, very, very horrific and remains very condemnable that this can happen in our nation today. Nobody can say what necessitated or caused why this young boy would do a thing like this to his own family members and society. But we remain in solidarity in condemning such acts. As a people, I've already condoled the government and the good people of Kanu, the Emir of Kanu, and continue to urge that as a country, we stand together in fighting such senseless acts. And again, fighting the issue of drugs, which my location is. Because the level of drug prevalence within our youth is unacceptable, which is one of the things that I condemn and continue to say that we must ensure that these young ones become productive to the society.
Right. And on that note, I am going to draw the curtain, but when I pull it back, right, that will be the time we're going to take calls. So if you're here with me and you haven't really paid your own offering, please do, right? And I also want to say a very big thanks to those of you who actually reached out on my, donation request and all that. Thank you. And to those who said, oh yeah, I'm going to get something done and all that. Again, it is always voluntary, right? For every penny is appreciated. Thank you. And I will be back in a minute or two. If you have 1 or 2 things to say, the line is open. Okay? So we can indeed just get on with it. So I have a caller on the line who will be my first caller tonight. Hello there.
Thank you. Hello, my good evening from here.
How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm very well too. Thanks for asking.
Okay, thank you, sir. before I will go to my message, the message you have been preaching for, let me use this time to thank you for what you have been doing.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for your good work.
Thank you.
I believe that Almighty God that we serve will bless you,
Amen.
keep you,
Amen.
and keep you to enjoy what you have been laboring for.
Amen.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and you, may God keep you guys and see that you will live and see what you have labored for. This is my prayer to you. He said, my name is John. John is calling from Boston. You know how the situation is. You go to work, you come back, I've been listening your messages, but no time to call, but this time yeah. So let's go to the system. I get three things I want to say.
Peace.
One is for Wike. Two is for Asari Dokubo. Then three is for the president idiot of Nigeria. Let me start with Asari Dokubo. Asari, since late Yaradua signed the amnesty to the Niger Delta, Asari had been eating from the oil. No lights in Niger Delta. They polluted their water. They can't farm. They can't fish. They have no life there. Asari colonize the area boys. When they give them the money, he give them 1,000 or let us 50,000 naira. And they use all the money. Went to which country is that and build a university?
Benin Republic, yeah.
Benin Republic and build a university. And there is no university for where he came from. Then he moved on and go to Abuja, protest for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that he will support him. If he failed, they should hold him accountable. Now, he never fell. He still opened his mouth and start talking in social media. He should go back to his drawing board and ask himself a question. Have I done it right? Me, as Asari, have I done it right? There is no light where I come from. There is no water. There is no school. There is no road. Why have I choose this way? That is for Asari. He should go and clean up his mess. He should not involve Igbo or Yoruba. He should go and clean his mess out. He have a mess he need to go clean. Then second one goes to Wike. Wike was a governor in River State. He messed up in River State. He loot as many as he wants in River State. He use it and do, we call it Saraka. We call it Saraka in Igbo land. We call it Saraka. Oh, he use it and spend, he do Saraka here. He went there, he do Saraka. He went the other side, he do Saraka. At the end of the day, now people started to realize that what this man was doing was to loot the states. Now they start opening his ears, he get upset. He need to go and get ashamed of himself. There is no good life in River State. Rivers is the most, I would say, where the Nigerian is feeding from. But there is no good life there. I've been there. From Abia State. River State is close to Abba. He messed River State up. He sold himself to get a favor. May his children to come, his great-grandchildren to come. May they face what the common man in the street are facing. All those money, all those things where he acquired cannot be useful in life. In children can never use it and become somebody in life because it's a stolen money. That is my wish to weekend.
Thank you.
Goes
and
to
the last one, because of our time as well, right? So let's go to the last
Bola
one.
Ahmed. Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The president.
When Buhari came to power, he says, I come to change. Buhari never changed nothing until Buhari died. Buhari is a late man. If Buhari is alive, let him come out now and let people see that it's real Buhari. Buhari is gone and he's gone forever. He said he's changed. He never did change till Buhari died. Now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu showed in and said, renew hope. Where is this hope renewed? There is no way to find the hope. Nigeria is messed up to the greatest, to the last call. I am praying that God should please forgive us what we have done and have mercy for common man on the street in that country.
Johnny, thank you so much, okay, for this.
You're welcome.
Another one.
And another thing before you go, they should try their possible best to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He done nothing to them. They should release that man, let that man go. They should leave that man go. You have a nice day. May God bless you
and you too.
And keep
Thank you so
you.
much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. That's John, ladies and gentlemen. I know a lot of us have a lot to say, okay? And if we could, tonight I'm not gonna like dabble into what you're saying too much anymore, so that you can quickly say your stuff, and then So I have another caller. It is Ahmed. How are you today, brother? La lafia kalau ya mata ya aiki.
Yara aiki lafiya kalau mata lafiya lau.
Madala, I mean, alhamdulillah first, right?
Yeah, so agbeke da akionla.
I mean, what's
the year one day do sina lafiya ko?
Lafia kalau. So, alhamdulillah. So, madala. How are you, Ahmed?
I do.
I don't know why I'm kind of like sounding rusty again, but you should kind of keep reminding me. You know that, Ahmed.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
We go reach there. Well, me, I not to get much now, but you know
what I'm gonna do. Sorry to disturb you, right? Sorry to stop you. So Ahmed, you are going to stay on for me. You see that thing that always happens towards the end of the broadcast where our picture is just going to become so blurry and all of that. No?
Yeah.
So it's currently like that, okay? So give me just, you stay on the line. Give me just about a minute or two, okay? Let me see if I can fix that.
All right.
And we can continue. Thanks, man.
Okay.
I'm coming back, everyone. I want to see if I could really fix this before it gets so bad and boring.
In the time of poverty like this, the economic principle of Yusuf is what everybody should apply in his own lives. Eat little, save more. You don't know what is happening. A dollar was just 800 naira or thereabout a couple of months ago. Now a dollar is over 1,000 naira. How much will it go? Nobody knows. Tori to say falafulu. Ogba salary kilawa. Igberaga week. Or bera recently like. Eat little and save more. Aye tan jẹ chicken kọ́ la wà yìí mọ́. Aye shawarma kọ́ mọ́. Aye ice cream kọ́. Mu gààrí. Jẹ pọ̀nmọ́. Gbàgbé táwọn doctors sọ pé kò ní nutritional value. Kí ló fẹ́ nutritional value pẹ̀lú kíni? Jẹ pọ̀nmọ́. Mu gààrí orí ẹja. Wàláì kò rẹ́rìn. Bọ́n bá lọ ṣe falafolo pẹ̀lú owó ìyà ó jẹ ọ́ bá kẹ́. This is the time to save more. Kálukú ló maintain salary school àwọn ọmọ níṣẹ́. I started by paying 25,000 naira per term 2 years ago. Last year, 50,000. Wallahi, this year is 100,000 per child. Now, imagine having 4 kids going to school and I have to pay over 1.2 million naira in a year. Divide my salary in a year by 2. How much will remain?
The more you look, the less you see. The more you look, the less you see. The more you look, the...
Now, I want to try and see if this fixes it before I bring Ahmed back on, okay? Because it can be so annoying, I promise you. And it's all network. I'm going to sue Virgin. I'm going to sue them soon. So somehow, it is still not coming up really okay. And I'm going to apologize to us and I'm going to restart my system and come back on. Ahmed, you are still going to have to hang in there for.
In the time of poverty like this, the economic principle of Yusuf is what everybody should apply in his own lives. Eat little, save more. You don't know what is happening. Kese la nri lọ́wọ́, makasakasa timbo. $1 was just 800 naira or thereabout a couple of months ago. Now $1 is over 1,000 naira. How much will it go? Nobody knows. Torí tó ń ṣe falafolo. Ọgbà salary ìkìláwà. Ìgbéraga week. Ọgbéra rẹ̀ sánlẹ̀ láìpẹ́. Eat little and save more. Ayé tá ń jẹ chicken kọ́ la wà yìí mọ́. Ayé shawarma kọ́ mọ́. Ayé ice cream kọ́. Mu gààrí. Jẹ pọ̀nmọ́. Gbàgbé táwọn doctors sọ pé kò ní nutritional value. Kí ló fẹ́ nutritional value pẹ̀lú kíni? Jẹ pọ̀nmọ́. Mu gààrí orí ẹja. Wàláì kò rẹ́rìn. Bọ́n bá lọ ṣe falafolo pẹ̀lú owó ìyà ó jẹ ọ́ bá kẹ́. This is the time to save more. Kálukú ló maintain salary school àwọn ọmọ níṣẹ́. I started by paying 25,000 naira per term 2 years ago. Last year, 50,000. Wallahi, this year is 100,000 per child. Now, imagine having 4 kids going to school and I have to pay over 1.2 million naira in a year. Divide my salary in a year by 2. How much will remain? Gas is in Benley. Pampers in Benley. Èmi náà sọ ọmọ bọ́ yín ra fìlà yín ra sọ. Mbo ní ká fi gbogbo yín sí ibadallah. So this is the time to apply the basic principle of economics of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. Save more, eat a little. Somebody told me there is nothing to save. I told him you are a liar. Where do you get money to buy data and check Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram? You are on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, on WhatsApp. You are everywhere. And you say there is nothing to save. The money you use to buy data, save it. Do you need data to survive?
So let's hope this fixes it, okay? If you are watching it on a small device, it may look okay. But if you're watching it on your big screen, right? It's so blurry and I just couldn't really kind of be okay with myself watching that. So I don't know if it's changed yet, but let's hope it gets back or you refresh your screen. Ahmed, are you still there?
No, I did hear.
I am so sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry that I have to do with this. That's why we are, but it is the network, okay? So maybe at some point it's going to get better. I'm sorry I've tried, but it's not changing. But go on, Ahmed.
Well, me, I not to get anything to say than she the Nigeria where they want rescue. The people even didn't Nigeria said they don't want to rescue themselves. I'm telling you, because when I first saw the post of this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stuff, Me, if I see post, like, I don't even wait to make I even hear the message where he won't talk. Because I know say what he won't talk. Makes sense. Now, comment section, I go read comments. May I see how many mad people I go meet for comment. And exactly when I reach comments, you go see different mad people. I was reading a comment, one idiot was like, he commit treason. If he was comparing Boko Haram situation, I was like, is this one just mad me?
They do
I don't
it intentionally. They do that intentionally.
Like,
just continue to repeat.
You said Boko Haram is this, but his own is treason. Do you know what it takes to commit a treason? I said, you see this one where they talk. You say Boko Haram, you are comparing Boko Haram terrorists on a daily where they say ever since they arrested this guy that you say he wants to commit treason, they are still killing you. You always pray to your God, making guide you,
protect you.
When you want, when come protect you, when you want go places. When in the same country, I tell them, I say in the same country, you don't need prayer of protection from anything, say make person come kill you. You don't need that prayer. Because it's either there is security system that will protect you, or be you yourself. Before security system will protect you, before you call them, before they reach, they gave you the privilege for you to protect yourself. Make example like America here, you can protect yourself. Yes, you have that to protect yourself. Stand your ground, Lanky. You go hold on. Anybody will come close to you, will be say, now your life is at risk. Blow that person, you don't get kids.
And you're there now, you defend yourself now.
Yes, you're defending yourself. And now you now see people, everybody will just keep talking. Because most of them, they don't know. Like you used to say, most of them, it's not as if they don't like, they hate oppression.
No.
It's just like, if they are not the ones.
Like oppressing the
if
people
they are not the
benefiting
ones
from that oppression, then they will scream.
Of course, then they will scream. Exactly. But we watch. We are watching. Interpol already came out and they denied ever involving in the bringing back of Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria. Same Nigerians didn't see that too. They lied to them earlier enough. They lied to them about Interpol when Malamu come and he was talking rubbish. People didn't come out to see, oh, so now lie. They don't see that one.
They don't.
They don't see all that one. Interpol still came out, debunked that. They don't see him. Now he's saying Nigerian court, no Nigerian court can try him. The people are saying he's feeling. If they fit me, then why is it that every time he comes on their screen, the way he's still looking the way he's still looking. He's still bold. That boldness is still there.
No weekend.
You can't break this man. You cannot break this man. There is nothing you do. You already say he's already broken already. Which can break, you won't break him again. Person will go stand like that. Last. Now make una inject him, give him something made. And if he die for a hand, it would not be small problem una carry for head.
Well, they are about to find out.
You know if you chop him, you know if you throw him. Now waiting Nnamdi Kanu don't turn to Nigerian government be that. They will play. And this kind of people, they hope say he go die. You go see say that those kind of people say they go live past the time where we say you on our way they comment section where they read all those mean that maybe all of them they die every day. Maybe all of them they die every. He's still there inside there. He's living healthy. He's doing healthy. You people that are praying he dies, they kill him in jail. Most of you are scared. Most of you are dying.
Some of them have their family members they want to pay ransom for.
Some of you, your family members, they won't pay ransom for them. Some of them, they don't kill them for terrorists then. And you are still waiting for someone who said, if you cannot treat us right, let us go. You are waiting for that person to die.
Well,
me as I see that thing, it vex me. It vex me.
Because it's not normal.
It vex me.
It's not.
And you go see all these mad people, all these mad people from the north, all of them, they go begin, ask them, I say, kai da kai so Nnamdi Kanu a kama shi a kulle shi, ka gaya mun tun da aka kama shi since when they catch am, we then kidnap am, we then come lock am. An daina kidnapping ɗinku ko kuma an daina kashe ku. ‘Yan iskan wanda kuke kira bandit sun daina kashe ku, sun daina kidnapping ɗinku. Kullum sai an kwashi mutane ba ɗaya ba biyu ba 500 1000 sai an kwashe su an ji an kidnapping an yi garkuwa da su. Amma kai kana zaune kana sa a kashe Nnamdi Kanu dalili yana so ya raba Najeriya. Najeriyan gadon ubanka ne ko gidan ubanka ne? Najeriyan uban me ta tsinana maka? Uwar me ta tsinana ma Najeriya? Da Najeriya da kake defend kutumar uban me ta tsinana maka? Ba abin da ba ta maka tun da ka taso ana ce ma Najeriya you don't even baka taba enjoying wani privilege daga Najeriya ba completely. Amma wai baka san Najeriya ta break it. Dan uban Najeriya ne sai ta break it, either you like it or not. It will break. Lokaci ne kadai. Ake jira it will break. Na even we can live on for there.
Thank you so much, Ahmed, right? That's a good one. So I have been having an issue with my network. It is so bad and so bad that it's just going to ruin the rest of the picture for the night. So I am sorry that we would have to call it tonight. I've tried to do a few things here, run a check and all of that, and I realized that I should be calling my lawyer. Okay, so I'm being ripped off. If I'm paying that much for my internet because I wanted the best, I was supposed to be getting like a 1.1 gigabytes. What do you call it, per second? You know that one now? But imagine where me paying for 1.2, 1.4 gigabyte speed internet. And Virgin is giving me 100. So it's now affecting my broadcast. So sorry guys, right? I am going to see you tomorrow afternoon. Meanwhile, if the network is going to let me show you this, it's so horrible. Like I can see the image and I'm like, no, this is so bad. Right? So to you who sent me this, I don't know who promised me this. Somebody promised us this book, White Malice. And the White Malice is, it's the history of how they intentionally underdevelop Africa, the colonialists. So leave that for me. We choose a date that we're going to start reading them and reading it. So thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I apologize again for this. But in case if you see me in the papers, right, I'm going to sue Virgin. I'm a suarawa. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.